If you are finding this message right now, the universe and your ancestors are asking you to hold your ground, to be steady, to cut whatever is coming into your life right now that is causing you to feel instability. The energy at the beginning of this month, while it is ushering in a lot of abundance, a lot of prosperity, that also means it is ushering in a lot of old energy or similar energy from the past so that it can test you and so that you can learn. I had in one of the recent readings, especially for love, people coming back to test you right now, exes, old friends, financial things. If you've had, hardship, career things, you're being asked to make a decision about every aspect of your life and decide whether or not you're going to change. And it has a deep energy of self-advocacy, of you showing up in your most authentic voice in this stage of your life. Not the person that you were 5 years ago, not the person that you were 7 years ago, not the person who was stuck in a marriage they didn't know how to get out of, not the person who was, sitting in their learned helplessness, acting like there was no way out. Like, you are a very different person now. And so your ancestors and your spirit guides, and I'm getting for a lot of you, because many of you have spiritual warrior energy in you, or you have a lineage of that, or you are surrounded by spiritual warriors. As I was tapping into this energy, it was so strong. They want you to bring that side of you forward with love and compassion, and to not some people are saying don't take shit anymore. Like, this is not the time, but there's still a way to be able to do it in a very loving way. And something that I was talking very recently with one of my clients is, like, if you are in this world there to make an impact, it doesn't mean that you always have to confront certain issues, right? Just depending on how traumatic it's going to be for you. But there are times where you have to realize that you do have to say the hard things, not just for yourself, but for other people who come after you. If you don't have that hard conversation with them, if you're not honest, if you avoid it, if you think that they're just going to do their learning, but they maybe don't have the capacity or they don't know how to do it, and clearly you're on the other side of that, why not send them a platter of truth so that it can spark some healing in their own life, right? And you can make peace. It's very much this activism energy right now, and to realize that you have all the tools that you need to be able to move forward. And it's almost like the ancestors are placing you on a seat with judges. I almost see judges, or but in a very ancestral way, right? You learned your lessons, you're stepping into your power, you're very balanced with your masculine, your feminine energy within you, you're in union with yourself, and now they're let's put them to the test, right? So if you're feeling like there's things in your life that are a little chaotic, or something breaks here, or a platform isn't working right, it's because you need to change your way of thinking and decide what you're going to do in that situation. Are you going to handle it like you've done in the past? Are you going to be frustrated? Are you going to be flustered? Are you going to move through it with ease? Are you going to be solution oriented? Are you going to change your perspective and say that there's probably something deeper here that I need to learn? Do I trust that I have the tools to be able to get out of the situation? Where am I not self-advocating? Where do I need some empowerment? And how can I do it with ease and with grace and with joy this time, right? Because sometimes, and I'm getting for some of you, you weren't able to feel joy, or you were shunned for feeling joy, even during moments when you would advocate for yourself, right? You would take a sense of pride for being your authentic self. And now you're in the season of continuing to be your authentic self and not feeling guilty about the joy that you feel. And so these energies around you are there to help stabilize your energy. So if you find yourself right now feeling a little like, why is this happening? Like, can this blah, 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 or you feel some worry come up, or you feel some anxiety come up, learn from it in that very moment, sit with it and ask questions, and then release it and call in something better for yourself. And I like to teach my clients that during times like this is when you really lean into your spiritual practices. This is where you really lean into your connection with your ancestors. This is where you really lean into the divine and archangels and deities who are around you to protect you, and you ask them for assistance. You can ask them, like, can you reveal the truth of this person? Can you reveal to me what is happening? Can you help stabilize this energy? And a lot of the time, like, they will step in so quickly. And what I've explained to other people is sometimes when they do step in, it gets a little bit more chaotic at first because they're doing also what you've asked. So if you're working with other deities right now and you see them popping up for you and you see this other energy, make sure you are leaving gifts and water and a candle if you don't have much, or salt, like anything that you have. Even a piece of clothing, or if you have a meal, you can offer it to them first and then eat it yourself. So there's many ways that you can say thank you, because a lot of people who receive my videos are very connected to the spiritual realm in more than one way. And so there's a lot of assistance stepping forward. And be mindful too of what you are sharing with people. Now is not the time to be blabbering about future projects, things you are working on, because anybody who's around you who is in a lower frequency is going to react negatively to you. That is the energy. Like, that is the forecast. That is the energy right now in this moment if you're receiving this video. So don't tell them anything that is of importance to you. If you want to celebrate something, celebrate it with yourself, celebrate it with your 144 tribe, celebrate it with elevated energy. Because I'm also getting, like, the ancestors have told you that there are people around you who are not so great, but you're not going to linger on that. You already knew that is what they're saying. Like, you already knew that. Don't act surprised, right? And now it's a matter of you just like zipping it so your manifestations can come really quickly. And I'm also getting, for some of you, like really moving and not coming back, right? Like moving forward, but also traveling and moving somewhere. Now is the time for you to focus and align your energy. Be very, very high frequency. Lean into your spiritual practices, your cultural practices as well. Do your prayers, do your yoga, do your movement, right? Say your mantras, like whatever you have that you have in your own life that supports you or that your ancestors are wanting you to do. Make sure you are doing that. Make sure you are getting outside. And March is also not really a time for you to be like a busybody with other people. The message that I had heard the other day was like, you don't need friends right now. Right? So it's like there's a certain discipline that is happening within March so that you can receive the plentitude that you've been planting for a really long time. But for that energy to fully flow to you underneath all those like spiritual attacks and things like that, and negativity and people being nosy and spiteful and people just woke up on the wrong side of the bed today, like you have to remain balanced and you have to remain quiet and in peace and in stillness. And one of the best ways to do this is literally be in silence for most of the time. For myself, like I spend many hours in the rising in quiet, in meditation with my animals or with my food, and I fast quite a bit. So if any of those resonate with you, like now is the time to do it. If you're exercising, just be mindful of your fasting. I know that I fast while I exercise, but I'm very careful about it, and I kind of like ease into it since I run really far and do a ton of things. So yeah, and also there's something about like, be careful what like music you're listening to. Not that it's like bad, but it feels like it's positive music, but it's like creating too much noise in you energetically for you to receive the divine messages that are trying to come through right now for March from a different line of ancestors. So do your best to be in stillness as much as you can, as I mentioned, and make the tough decision and cut these people out of your life. It's very much so like clear your throat chakra energy, be within your solar plexus energy, like sit within your root chakra and ground into who you are and your authenticity, and trust, right? And I kept hearing before this, at what cost really is what you should be asking yourself for the things and the people that you don't necessarily enjoy, because it feels like, right? At what cost do you keep them around? Like what is it costing you? Is what they're kind of saying. Like, are you actually happy around all those people, or do you prefer to not be around them? We as a society, yes, we do want to be around people. We're meant to be in community, but we're also meant to be in aligned community. And many people are being called to like spiritually awaken right now. So you can't necessarily do that with a lot of people around. And those who have, a different type of purpose where it's going to require them to be in the spotlight, this is the nitty gritty. This is the nitty gritty time. This is the, you shut your door, you padlock it, you put your sword on your back and keep going. That energy is back. I know that was here like maybe a month ago. But yeah, just be sure to take care of yourself. And if you're needing any spiritual guidance or community or help, needing to know about candle work or cleanses or protection charms, amulets, like whatever it is that you want to know about, mantras, come to Z School for the Gifted. It's 3 times a week, Monday, Thursdays, and Fridays. The link is in my description and in my profile bio, so you can find it there. And I hope to see you all soon.